I know I could use a break, and you look long overdue for a laugh. Hey, let's go grab some drinks, 'cause it's Beverages with Brad.
Welcome to Beverages with Brad, everybody.
Wow.
We have Chuck and Brad here, the dynamic duo. Where did it begin? Did it begin with comedy? Did it begin with sketch stuff? Did it begin with videos? Did it begin with podcast stuff? Where the hell did it start?
Oh man.
So basically, I'm in a band called Senior Discount. We've been in a band for 14 years. We finally got signed this summer. That's a homegrown thing. It's real DIY. Dudes in their basement being like, "You want to start learning instruments and do a band?"
So it started with music.
It started with music,
which is one of the things I forgot to even mention. You guys do so much shit.
I was going to school for film, and we got this big opportunity to play a big show at Lupo's in Providence, and we wanted to spread the word, and we're like, let's just make like a sketch video to sell tickets, and we'll make it about how about people giving their excuses as to why they're going to be too busy to go to our show, and us shutting down those excuses. So we did that, got a good response. And the band, Senior Discount, started doing more and more videos.
Which is great, because now you have the music promoting the videos, and the videos promoting the music.
Exactly.
Both worlds at the same time.
And it's cool because, like, really, the thing that people care about the most, no matter what it is, even if you're like, oh, I like this movie star, I like this band, I like this, really, I think what they care about is personality. We did a documentary about the movie that won, like, film festivals, and we had huge premieres in Providence. It was awesome. I got arrested in it.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
What'd you get arrested for?
I got arrested for giving myself an enema in public during the day in
that?
front of a high school.
Police is so uptight.
I know.
This is why he kneels.
That's terrible.
You were already doing the improv.
Yep.
Yeah, and he was so, when I saw him do improv, he was so conservative and reserved and like nerdy and uptight.
Has not changed.
And it was the opposite of what the band was. And we love to blend like reality and fiction. So like we played a show with a band called Leftover Crack, which are like it's a real punk band. We played at Club Hell, and the place was packed. There was like 300 people there. And Brad came as his character with flyers that were protesting us. I said like, oh man, I would love to do weekly content so people would be drawn back to it. And Brad had already talked to me about starting a podcast, and I was like, let's just start a podcast. Let's just do that. And we started it just so that we
10 years ago, like, I think that's
podcast.
kind of a big deal. Now, like, my mom has a podcast. Yeah, so...
It's good.
So you go out, you do all this crazy shit, and then the podcast, you sit in a room and you talk about it all.
Basically, yeah. And my band was winning an award at the Motif Awards. And they were like, hey, would you like to write for Motif? Like the head guy. And I was like, yay. So they hired me to write for whatever I want. And then Providence Monthly read my articles. And they hired me to write whatever I want. And I think this is a combination of having done the podcast for so long. It puts me in this weird world of like entertainment/journalism.
You have your hands in everything. And you're doing all this different stuff. And like, and that's inspirational and cool to see. Like, I have so many friends that they don't do shit.
I think working with Chuck, Chuck is shameless in so many ways, whether it's giving himself an enema in public, but like making these big asks, writing to people that, really have no reason to talk to us.
I mean, that's how my band got signed, is that I just wrote to the label, and I was like, we're going to put out an album with or without you, you know.
So do yourself a favor.
If you think
get on board with this.
If you think it's good, I think you should have us add us to your label roster and use your distribution for us. And they're like, cool. And like, basically what I think it is like you do all the little stuff that you can control. So like, let's say, we're like, we're gonna have Matt from the Copaesthetics on. That's a local band from Rhode Island, a good local band from Rhode Island. And we have a great conversation with him, and we do a quality podcast. And then you try to use that as like, oh, we've had these 5 people on. We've had these people that are local to us. Now let's ask for a little bit bigger, then a little bit bigger, then a little bit bigger. Yeah. And you build up what you can do. We went to the Tribeca Film Festival to interview Jeff Tremaine, who's the director of all the Jackass movies. And they invited us to this like after party for all the Jackass guys. We got invited to this. And we walk up to the party, and so another guy walks up, another media guy, and they have a list, and they're like, who are you? And we're like, the guy was like, I'm James something from Time Magazine. He's like, you're not on the list. He's like, you guys. We're like, we're Chuck and Brad from
we're Chuck and Brad.
We're Chuck and Brad from the Chuck and Brad podcast. He's like, come on in. And he
opens the red course. Sorry, I should have recognized you guys.
It's great.
Time Magazine.
Like I begged and pleaded to get in Comic-Con, and they're like, hey, Brad, go yourself. And then I say on your thing, like, there they are, Chuck and Brad. Maybe like, we already have a Brad. We have a more talented Brad.
We interviewed the cast of It
Like, what the hell? And like, they won't even let me in the door. They won't even let me in the door.
If people see us doing a lot of cool stuff, know that that's 5% of the stuff we asked for, and 95% was no's.
Yep. Of like, why not us? Like, why can't we be the ones interviewing the cast of IT at Comic-Con? Why can't we be the ones filming a live special for Tell 'em Steve Dave? Why can't we do these things? 2 years ago, I think 2 years ago, it was like, why not try stand-up? And so we both like went to coffee shops on the weekends and we wrote our stand-up set and we practiced it for each other.
But then we kind of combined the live podcast with the stand-up to do our Chuck and Brad shows, which we do at the Comedy Connection now.
Yeah.
So it's cool to say we're gonna do the Comedy Connection, and it's gonna be like it's not sketch, it's not stand-up, it's not improv, it's a combination of all that stuff.
It's the Chuck and Brad show, everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is. And what's the date for this show that's coming up?
It's called Chuck and Brad's Even Better Best Christmas Show Ever, and it's December 16th. It's a Sunday at the Comedy Connection.
Check these guys out at the Comedy Connection. The Chuck and Brad show, obviously very interesting, very unique experience, very festive.
Yep.
Oh my God, And the show is not just like a comedy show around Christmas, so we're like, oh, Christmas. This show, like, the storyline of this show is that I find out I'm on the naughty list at the beginning of the night, and by the end of the night, I gotta get on the nice list.
Yeah, inspired by all the different work and different genres and things you guys do. It's very inspirational, and
That's
I
awesome,
appreciate
man.
it. You guys rock. Thanks a lot.